TIL actor Dean Winters suffered from a bacterial infection in 2009, died in the ambulance, was revived and in the ICU for 3 weeks. After recovering, he developed gangrene and had multiple amputations and skin grafts. He is now better known for playing Mayhem in the Allstate Insurance commercials. I was a PA on set for the first round of Mr. Mayhem commercials. It was hot as balls on Long Island. This clown goes and buys out a whole ice cream truck for the crew. Real classy move, giving out ice cream to 50+ people on a 95-degree day. He was making a great check and wanted to share. 10 years later, I'm producing a documentary and had my subject, a 12-year-old genius and her 6-year-old brother at a voice-over recording studio in Midtown Manhattan. We're riding down the elevator and Dean jumps in. He sees the drawings that little brother had been doing and starts asking about them. This kid is sweet, shy. It took 3 times meeting me before he would say hello. This kid had no problem talking to Dean. I recognize him and tell him I've been a fan since he bought me ice cream. He remembered and seemed really happy to have made an impact on me. Then little brother gave him the drawing and he took it like it was precious art, very gracious. TLDR, Dean Winters is one of those guys that if you spend 5 minutes with is one of the nicest dudes in the industry, and I love that he lives his life against typecasting. That guy is fantastic at playing idiot douchebags. I mean that as a compliment. Dear Liz Lemon, while other women have bigger boobs than you, no other woman has as big a heart. When I saw you getting ready to go out and get nailed by a bunch of guys last night, I knew for sure it was over between us. And for the first time since the '86 World Series, I cried. I cried like a big, dumb homo. And if it was up to me, we'd be together forever, but there's a new thing called women's liberation, which gives you women the right to choose, and you have chosen to abort me, and that I must live with. So tonight, when you arrive home, I'll be gone. I officially renounce my squatter's rights. Let me tell you something about 20-year-old girls. Half of them are 16. No one can play an emotionally compromised teenage girl better. Also know well before that for Oz. And that one Hellraiser movie, I am not sure was filmed as a Hellraiser movie. The Vulture. I remember him as the guy who was plowing Detective Benson in SVU. Ryan O'Reilly. Mayhem is my favorite commercial character. Him and Jack Carter playing the Maytag machines are pure gold. His name is Colin Ferguson, but he will always be Sheriff Jack Carter to me. I won 2nd place in a Halloween costume contest 10 years ago by dressing up as Mayhem. It was a pretty crappy last-minute costume by writing "State" up the back of my black suit with masking tape, putting on a pink headband, a bandage on my face, and some fake blood and bruises. Turns out the bar we went to for Halloween had an Allstate office next door, and all those employees were at the bar cheering extra loud for the Mayhem guy. Disappointed to see not a single mention of his role as Johnny Gavin. Liz loves Dennis. Dude has a toe for a thumb now. He hides it on camera, but you can catch it sometimes. Totally a toe for a thumb. First thing I ever saw him in was in the Sarah Connor Chronicles show with Lena Headey. Wasn't he in Rescue Me with Dennis Leary? Saw him biking once on West 8th Street in NYC, going against traffic towards 6th Ave, out of the bike lane, phone pressed into his ear with his shoulder while he held a red Solo cup in his right hand and steered with his left. Dude really is Mayhem. I had pneumonia once about 8 years ago and drove into my doctor's office in a fog and basically collapsed when I got there. Took me a month to be able to get back on my feet. My buddy at my last job had an infection and just felt sick, but decided to go to the hospital and took a shower first to look nice. When he got there, they were amazed that he wasn't dead. He spent months getting antibiotics delivered through a central line, as according to him, the drugs would have been too corrosive to inject in other veins. It's crazy how sick you can be without realizing how bad it is. LOL, every time I see him come up in something I'm like, hey look, it's Mayhem. Mayhem apparently henches when he's not selling car insurance. Well, I'm glad he survived. Anyone else have a little crush on the guy? I feel like it's got to be some sick psychological thing to find it kind of hot when he shows up all bad boy like. Maybe it's just the voice? I don't know. I loved the show he was on called Battle Creek, totally bummed when they cancelled it. He's missing 1 to 2 fingers. You can see he usually keeps his hand out of the shot as best as possible. Better known as Dennis Duffy, dummy. I have had a huge crush on this guy for years. I think it's really sad that Dean Winters is better known as Mayhem when he's had a very impressive career. I first took note of him in Oz back in the late 90s. I'm always excited when I see him in a show. The Subway Hero. Excuse me, that's Ryan O'Reilly from Oz you're referring to. I think you mean Dennis Duffy, the Beeper King. Most amazing thing for me to learn was the Allstate gig is his highest paying job. Edit, spelling. He is better known as Lemon's trash ex/current/ ex-boyfriend. You uncultured swine. He lost 2 toes and half a thumb. https://www. HuffPost.com/entry/Allstate Mayhem Dean Winters died _N_5CC70A61E4B0AT4E348569116. He was also in John Wick 2. I will always know him first and foremost as Ryan O'Reilly. And if you have cut-rate medical insurance, you could be paying for all that treatment yourself. Also Mayhem the lawyer in John Wick. Fucking Ryan O'Reilly man. And the Vulture on Brooklyn 99. Article lists acclaimed television shows Oz, Rescue Me and 30 Rock as his credits. Op says you'd know him better from a commercial. SMH, he's way more well known as Liz Lemon's ex. And Ryan O'Reilly in Oz. So good as him. Dude has no fear of death, perfect casting. From Allstate Insurance? No. From Oz? Yes. Best known as Dennis the Beeper King from 30 Rock, he banged Olivia Benson with half a thumb. If you don't know him as Dennis Duffy then I feel bad for you. Part of me wants to believe he's actually a totally nice guy in real life. I know 2 people who had a near-death experience. One got drugged at a party, his organs started shutting down, then he pulled a legit miracle and started rebooting his whole body. Dude was inches from death's door. Is the nicest fucking person I know. But then again, he was always the nicest fucking person I know. Tells me stories about the downright Neil Gaiman dream experiences he had. Then there's my skydiving friend who fell 80 feet/50 mph onto the tarmac in an approach collision. For the laundry list of injuries, not safe for weak stomach https://udo b/bjt6ppvenqy T equals 115, https://udo b/bjt6ppvenqy T equals 115. He's got a few screws loose, but I always say he has enough screws to make up for the loose ones. Where is this hospital where doctors can cast, revive and resurrect the dead? I might be interested in being nearby just in case, despite the amputations. I love the Mayhem Allstate commercials. Loved him no SVU too. Forgot he was in CSI Miami. I think he's known better as the Vulture. The Vulture strikes again. He will always be Carrie's booty call on Sat C for me. Better known as Mayhem. Best known as Dennis. Guess everyone forgot the 31 episodes of Law & Order SVU that he starred in. Cassidy, U.S. He was so perfect as Ryan O'Reilly on Oz. That show does not get anywhere near the appreciation it deserves. Oz, the best series about prison life, was on HBO for multiple seasons and was fantastic. Dean is one of the main char actors.